To start the fire, you want to first make sure that you open the damper and the temperature lever to let the most air go through. Now if you had a fire the night before, you're going to want to open the doors, take the andirons out, and then you're going to want to get rid of the ash by raking it into the grate. I like to do this so you can keep the coals from the night before and use them as the base of your fire. Now that you've raked all the ash underneath, if it's hot, you can use the gloves here, but if it's not, just pull out the tray and dump out the ash. You should do this every morning. Now you want to start your fire. You have the coals from last night. You want to put some newspaper. I like to roll up the pieces. And you want to use some cardboard on top of the newspaper. I kind of crunch it up so it's not exactly flat. And then you want to use some kindling. And these are just kind of stacked in a random kind of pattern. And then you want to put your andirons back in. So now you want to go ahead and start your fire. Just try to light it in a couple spots to get it going. So once it gets going, you're going to want to close the doors, push them together and lock it by pushing the handle down, and there'll be plenty of air from the damper and the temperature control to keep it going. So once the kindling is going good, you want to get a couple of just slightly bigger pieces to add, and you lift the lid to do that. You don't want to smother the fire yet with bigger pieces. So now that those first pieces are going really well, you just want to add a few pieces of wood that are just a little bit bigger. You still don't want to smother the fire. Something like this, kind of like crossing each other, just to keep it going. That's the whole routine, is just to keep adding bigger and bigger. If you put a big log on, you'll smother the fire right now. So now that we have the small pieces really going, we want to add some bigger pieces. When you add it, you don't want to smother the fire. Maybe put it at an angle so air can always be circulating around. And we're going to keep doing this until the temperature reads 550 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's when we'll close the damper. So you're going to want to keep your eyes on the temperature. You want it to get to around 550 degrees Fahrenheit. Not much hotter than that. So when it gets close to that, we're going to close the damper and we're going to close the temperature control lever. So now we have the fire going really well. We can see that the temperature is 550. a little bit above. So we want to go ahead and close the damper, close the temperature control all the way down. So when you want to add wood later, you have to open the damper, and then you can open this lid. If you don't open the damper, you open the lid, the room fills with smoke because there's nowhere for the smoke to go. The damper opens up the chimney and releases the smoke. So you open it up, add your wood, close it, and then close the damper. Just a tip, when you have a really hot fire but you need to add a large log, you're going to want to open the damper, put your large log in, close the lid, and you might want to give it a few minutes just to get going before you close the damper. Sometimes with a large log, the gas released, if the damper is closed right away, can create a puff of smoke to come out through the top lid. So let it go for a couple minutes, just a couple minutes, not long, and then close the damper.